There's an empty chair by the window where you used to watch the rain. You tell me all your little stories while I listen to every word you said. Now the afternoon is quieter and the sunlight feels too cold. Funny how a simple wooden chair can hold 1,000 memories. I never knew that missing you could live inside a room, until every corner started reminding me of you. There's an empty chair by the window, and I still look at it sometimes, half expecting you to turn around and ask me how I've been tonight. I know you're somewhere far away, living the life you chose, but there's an empty chair by the window where a part of my heart still goes. I remember Sunday mornings, you would sit there with your tea, your feet tucked underneath you, your smile turned toward me. We never thought those little moments would become the ones we'd miss. We were too busy calling ordinary something close to happiness. If I'd known that day was precious, I would have stayed a little longer. I would have memorized your laughter before the silence came. There's an empty chair by the window, and I still look at it sometimes, half expecting you to turn around and ask me how I've been tonight. I know you're somewhere far away, living the life you chose, but there's an empty chair by the window where a part of my heart still goes. Maybe someday someone else will sit beneath that light. Maybe I'll finally stop remembering the way you looked that night. But for now I'll let the memories rest softly where they are, because some empty places still remind us who we are. There's an empty chair by the window, but it doesn't hurt like before. I've learned that loving what we had doesn't mean I need it anymore. You left 1,000 memories, and I'll carry what they know, but I'll leave that empty chair behind when I'm finally ready to go. The rain is on the window, the evening settles slow. There were words we never finished, sentences we left behind, questions hanging in the doorway, answers neither heart could find. You were standing by the suitcase, I was staring at the floor, both of us afraid to say what we already knew before. Sometimes silence says the truth that words are too afraid to tell. Sometimes two people say goodbye before they say it well. These are the words we never finished, the things I couldn't say, the please don't go that stayed inside me when you conversation. I wouldn't ask you to return. I'd only tell you that I loved you before we let the whole thing burn. I remember your expression, how you tried to hide your tears. We had built a life together out of so many years, but somewhere in the middle we forgot what brought us near, and the love that once felt certain slowly disappeared. These are the words we never finished, the things I couldn't say, the please don't go that stayed inside me when you walked away. If I could have one conversation, I wouldn't ask you to return. I'd only tell you that I loved you before we let the whole thing burn. I forgive you for the leaving, I forgive myself for staying, for believing every broken thing could somehow be remade. We were young enough to dream, but not wise enough to know that sometimes love can disappear before you're ready to let go. These are the words we never finished, but I don't need them now. I finally found some peace in what we couldn't figure out. You were a beautiful chapter, even with a painful end, and somewhere in my heart I'll always wish you well. The words we never finished don't have to hurt forever. Some goodbyes don't need an answer, they just need to be released. Your jacket's hanging by the doorway, I should put it in a box, but every time I reach for it, my hands forget to stop. There's still a little trace of you inside the fabric's fold, and for one small second I'm not lonely anymore. I know it's just an old jacket, I know you're not coming through, but sometimes the smallest things can make a room feel full of you. Your jacket still smells like home, like the nights when you held me close, like the rain against the windows and the places only we would know. I should let the memory fade, I should finally let it go, but your jacket still smells like home, and home is hard to lose. I remember winter mornings, you would throw it over my shoulders, tell me I was always cold, and pull me a little closer. I never thought I'd miss those words, never thought they'd disappear. Now I would give almost anything to hear you say them here. It's strange how love can leave, but leave its fingerprints behind on the clothes inside the rooms, and somewhere in your mind. Your jacket still smells like like the rain against the windows, in the places only we would know. I should let the memory fade, I should finally let it go. But your jacket still smells like home, and home is hard to lose. Maybe tomorrow I'll fold it, maybe I'll give it away. Maybe I'll finally understand that keeping it won't make you stay. But tonight I'll let it hang there, just until the morning comes. 'Cause sometimes we need one more night before we're ready to move on. Your jacket still smells like home, but home doesn't have to be you. I've learned that love can leave a room and still leave something true. I'll keep the memories gently, but I won't hold them close, because sometimes letting go is the kindest thing we know. Your jacket's by the doorway, the morning's coming through. It still smells a little like home. I heard you're doing better now, at least that's what they say. You found a little apartment on the other side of town. I wonder if you like the mornings, I wonder if you sleep at night. I wonder if the life you wanted finally feels right. I hope you found your peace, even if it wasn't with me. I hope somebody holds your heart the way you always needed. I won't ask you to remember, I won't ask you to return. I just hope the road ahead of you is kinder than the road we learned. I still have days I miss you, I won't pretend I don't. But missing someone doesn't mean you have to bring them home. I've learned to love the memories without living in the past. And I've learned some beautiful things were never meant to last. We were young, we were hopeful, we were trying to understand how two people can love deeply and still let go of each other's hands. I hope you found your peace, even if it wasn't with me. I hope somebody holds your heart the way you always needed. I won't ask you to remember, I won't ask you to return. I just hope the road ahead of you is kinder than the road we learned. If our paths should cross someday, I hope we don't look away. I hope we smile at what we were and thank the past for yesterday. You don't have to be my future to have mattered in my life. Some people leave a beautiful mark and disappear into the night. I hope you found your peace, and I hope I find mine too. I hope we both become the people we were always meant to be. No anger, no pretending, no reason left to grieve. Just two hearts carrying memories and finally learning how breathe. I hope you found your peace wherever you may be. And somewhere in this quiet life, I hope you hope the same for me. Do you remember who we were before the distance grew? Before our conversations started feeling like something to get through. We knew each other's mornings, we knew each other's fears. We could hear the change in breathing before the first words appeared. I wish I could go backward just one evening, just one day, before the little cracks between us became too wide to cross. Before we became strangers, before we lost the way, before your eyes stopped searching mine at the end of every day. I wish I could remember the last time we felt whole, before love became a question and goodbye became the only road. We used to talk until the sunrise, never running out of things to say. Now I can't remember when we stopped talking that way. You knew exactly how to calm me, I knew how to make you smile. Somewhere between those little moments, we lost each other for a while. Before we became strangers, before we lost the way, before your eyes stopped searching mine at the end of every day. I wish I could remember the last time we felt whole, before love became a question and goodbye became the only road. Maybe we were slowly changing, maybe neither one was wrong. Maybe we were holding tightly to a place we'd outgrown. Still I'll always keep the version of you that loved me then, and I'll always remember how beautiful we had been. Now I see you in the distance, and I don't know what to say. We once knew each other's secrets, now we barely know the names. There's no anger in my heart now, only gratitude remains for the years you stood beside me before we went our separate ways. Before we became strangers, there was something real and true. There was a time my whole world was built around you. I won't try to change the ending, I won't ask the past to stay. I'll just keep the love we once had and let the rest fade away. Before we became strangers, you were everything to me. And even though we're strangers now, I'll remember who we used to be.